breaking windows and firing industrial-grade fireworks in to start a fire. Throw kerosene balloons in and start fires in the court. Is that okay? Is that okay now?
But now some seem more interested in defending the Chinese Communist Party than they are our own country.
In Attorney General William Barr's testimony at the House Judiciary Committee, July 28, 2020, Representative Steve Chabot, if I'm saying that correctly, Republican from Ohio, directs a friendly question to Barr. Softball is basically setting him up for a home run, and in my opinion, he hit a home run. It is my understanding that left-wing media, the Democrat lapdogs, are either ignoring the following or failing to provide the full context of the following.
Mr. Attorney General, would it be accurate to say that it's this administration's responsibility, and of course you're part of the administration, to see that federal laws are upheld and that the federal property is secure and safe and protected? Is that correct?
That's right, Congressman. They're sort of distinct missions. One mission is to enforce federal law. And by the way, the federal government is the sovereign of the United States. We have two sovereigns here in the United States, and we enforce the federal law all over the country. Every square foot of the country, we enforce federal law. The other is protecting federal property, and specifically U.S. courthouses, which are the heart of federal property in all 93 jurisdictions in the United States. And we have the obligation to protect federal courts, and the U.S. Marshals specifically have been given that obligation. Federal courts are under attack. Since when is it okay to try to burn down a federal court? If someone went down the street to the Prettyman Court here, that beautiful courthouse we have right at the bottom of the hill, and started breaking windows and firing industrial-grade fireworks in to start a fire, throw kerosene balloons in and start fires in the court, is that okay? Is that okay now? No, the U.S. Marshals have a duty to stop that and defend the courthouse, and that's what we are doing in Portland. We are at the courthouse defending the courthouse. We're not out looking for trouble.
Thank you, General. And as far as weapons and devices that were utilized by the group of people, and you mentioned trying to destroy the courthouse. I mean, they were literally trying to burn it down and apparently didn't give a hoot about the people that were occupied in the building as well. So people were in danger.
That is absolutely right.
So as far as the weapons that you mentioned, let me get this straight. My understanding is that the people attacking the building had, among other things, rifles, explosives, knives, saws, sledgehammers, tasers, slingshots, rocks, bricks, lasers. Have I missed anything, or does that about cover it?
You have missed some things, but that's a good list. But they have these powerful slingshots with ball bearings that they shoot. They've used pellet guns. We believe we have found those projectiles have penetrated marshals to the bone, and they use the lasers to blind the marshals. They do start fires. They start fires if they can get the fire inside or through the windows, and they start fires along the outside of the courthouse. When the marshals come out to try to deal with the fire, they're assaulted.
General, if local elected officials, mayors and city councils and governors did their jobs and kept the peace, would it even be necessary for federal law enforcement personnel to be there in the first place?
No, and that's exactly the point. Look around the country. Even where there are these kinds of riots occurring, we haven't had to put in the kind of reinforcements that we have in Portland, because the state and local law enforcement does their job and won't allow rioters to come and just physically assault the courthouse. In Portland, that's not the case.
General, some have derisively referred to these law enforcement personnel as stormtroopers and worse. Does that accurately describe them? Or would you like to set the record straight?
No, they're obviously not stormtroopers. Normally we would have a group of deputy marshals in a court that would be, in business suits and ties or regular civilian dress. Those would be the deputy marshals as the protective force for the court. But after almost a month of rioting in Portland, we sent in, I think it was around the 4th of July timeframe, we sent in about 20 special operations marshals. And those are tactical teams that are able, are padded and protected so they could deal with this kind of thing. Up until last week, I was told we had our stormtrooper from the Department of Justice amounted to 29 marshals in the courthouse. 29 marshals. As of until recently increased, I think there were 95, I was told, 95 DHS, Federal Protective Service and other DHS officers trying to protect the courthouse and 3 other buildings. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to protect federal functions and federal buildings, which are a very small part of the city, but the rioters go at them, and we have gradually increased our numbers there to try to protect those facilities. If the state would come in and keep peace on the streets in front of the courthouse, we wouldn't need additional people at the courthouse.
Alrighty, folks, you can see the full testimony, the full context. See the link below for that. Make sure you are subscribed to us on BitChute. See the link below for that as well. And until next time, love, light, life, liberty, and leaping laughter.